Greetings. I'm Jakov Tasic, a seasoned professional in the realms of psychic readings and energy therapy with over a decade of experience. Today, I address a critical issue that plagues our community: the awful discrimination by payment processors such as Stripe, who dare to label us as high risk. For far too long, these companies have hidden behind the guise of high risk, obstructing our growth, limiting our reach, and suffocating our livelihoods. It is a modern day witch hunt, reminiscent of the dark times when they burned us at the stake. But mark my words, they will never be able to burn us again. We refuse to be silenced, to be pushed to the margins of society, to be treated as second-class citizens in the business world, to be denied the opportunities that are rightfully ours. Our services bring healing, guidance, and light to those in need. Our work is valuable, our services are needed, and our voices will be heard. To the payment processors who hide behind the veil of high risk, your days of discrimination are numbered. We demand to be seen, to be heard, and to be treated with the respect and dignity that every business deserves. We are not a liability to be cast aside. We are a vibrant, essential part of the world's tapestry. We are the guardians of the unseen, the healers of the soul, and the warriors of light, in a world often imprisoned in darkness. Together, we stand united, resolute in our mission to dismantle the walls of discrimination and pave the way for the future where spiritual businesses are embraced and empowered. Let me read you one very important thing that people often forget when we are talking about spirituality, witchcraft, and other things. And the thing that many of those companies do forget, they tend to forget those things, which is wrong. Okay? So the witchcraft in United Kingdom and other countries, the witchcraft in United Kingdom was illegal, and it was punishable by death, right? But that was in the 16th century, right? In the 16th century, in the 1542. And yet, those companies in 21st century, in 2024, are obviously following those same laws. Somebody didn't tell them that the laws have changed, right? Witchcraft Act. I'm currently reading from the UK Parliament website, so bear with me, okay? So in 1541, the Parliament passed the Witchcraft Act, which defined witchcraft as a crime punishable by death. Look at this. It was repealed 5 years later, but restored again in 1562. A further law passed in 1604 during the reign of James, who took a keen interest in demonology and even published a book on it. The 1562 and 1604 Acts transferred the trial of witches from the church to the ordinary courts. Formal accusations against witches were usually poor and elderly women. Well, look at that. No rich man, but poor and elderly women, reached a peak in the late 16th century, particularly in southeast England. Hundreds hundreds of witches were put on trial between 1560 and 1700s. And many of those were executed. Last trial against witches were held in Leicester in 1770, and overall, hundreds upon hundreds of people in England were being prosecuted and executed for witchcraft. That's the dark past that we must never forget and that we will never allow to happen again. In 1736, Parliament passed a law repealing the law against witchcraft, but imposing fines or imprisonment on people who claim to be able to use magic powers. So they just changed the terminology, didn't they? This act was repealed in 1951 by Fragile Mediums Act, and then in 2008. You see, this is the history of witchcraft in England, in the United Kingdom. But some companies obviously would like to see that dark era return again. They would like to be able to burn us again for what we are, for what we do, and the way we help people. Well, that will never happen again. This time we will fight back. And let me tell you, the reason why they burned us back then and why they would like to be able to do that again is because it is a very bad thing to have us as the enemy. But you chose. You chose us as the enemy, and that's a very bad thing. It is important for all of us to understand this whole situation with payment processors and stuff. Somebody would say things like, oh, well, you can find something else. You can find some other way of being paid. Yes, we can, of course. And many of us do. But that's not the point. Because in that case, the discrimination still persists. It stays there. We just find ways around it. We don't change it. And I don't think that that's the right thing. We can certainly find, or maybe some of us can make our own payment processing system for spiritual businesses exclusively. We can do it. It is legal. There's no law against it in 21st century. And we can do it. But what about those companies? What about the companies who still discriminate against occult, against witchcraft, against spiritual businesses? What about them? To be able to continue their business, they will be able to continue discriminating against us, which is unlawful, which is wrong, because we are protected as any other religious organization, as any other religion on the planet. And by their discrimination against us, they break the law. But they don't break the law just in the legal sense, right? They also break the spiritual law. They attack us. They attack our livelihoods. They attack our ability to help people. And they don't attack just us. They also attack the people we're helping by preventing them from accessing the services they need, from getting the help they need. And that is wrong. That is wrong. And it will never be allowed. And I can promise you one more thing. You see, we will destroy, and mark my words, we will destroy those companies. But we'll also build the companies that will support us and the companies that understand us, that do not discriminate against us. We'll turn them into way more successful companies than they were ever in the past. Because we can. We have the power. And that's what they're afraid of. That's why they're trying to silence us, to destroy us, to kill us if they can, to burn us again if they could. Well, you can't. You never will. As we are the light in the darkness, the healers, the guides, the warriors of the spiritual realm, together we'll rise up, united and unyielding, to put an end to this discrimination once and for all. This is the public declaration of war against those companies who discriminate against spiritual businesses, against those companies who would gladly support burning us again at the stake if they could. Well, your days are numbered. We are coming for you, and we will make sure that you never forget the lesson you will learn now, because you will never burn us again. Never again. A lot of things happened in the past, a lot of injustices. And of course, we are very sorry for that, right? Everybody is sorry for the injustices that happened. But what about the injustices that happen right now? What about that? Well, we'll be sorry about that in 50 years or 100 years. Well, not really. No. And let me tell you one more thing. Every injustice that happened on this planet didn't overthrow itself. It was eliminated because the people who were being hurt by those injustices fought back and won their freedom. You see, on this planet, there was a lot of injustice. And in some sense, there still is. There was injustice against Black people, against slaves, all those things. And it was always done by the ruling class, by the elites, by those who believe that they have a right to do whatever they want because they have money and they have power. And now they are doing the same to spiritual businesses. They follow the same logic. We will not work with you. We will starve you to death. Because currently the law is we can't burn you actually, but we can destroy you the other ways, right? That's what they do. They dehumanize us. They attack us. And now we will fight back. And when this happens, let it be known that you were warned, but you still decided to strike us. You still decided to fight against us. You still decided to discriminate against us. You still decided to try and destroy us. And by the laws of the universe, as you were warned what will happen if you do that, we are within our rights to defend ourselves by any means necessary. That means that we are coming for you, for everything that you have, everything that you have built, everything that you have built on the cries, on the tears and blood of those you destroyed in the past. Because you will never burn witches again. That will never happen again. Never. Because this time we will fight back. I certainly will. And I invite all of my colleagues who are in spiritual businesses, come, join this fight for all of us. And not just for us, for our children, for their children, for a better future of this planet, where there's no discrimination, and where spiritual businesses can thrive and help the people so that they can thrive too. And for those who are not in spiritual business, you can still join our fight. You can refuse to work with the companies that discriminate against spiritual businesses. You can boycott them, just like they unlawfully boycott us. I'm not happy because of this situation. And certainly, I am in this business for very long. I know how to defend myself. I have my ways. I can deal with things that happen, you know? But what about the others? What about the people who will be starting their spiritual businesses very soon? There's not enough of us in the world. The world needs us. And yet, the forces of darkness, through payment processors such as Stripe and others, are preventing us from helping people. That is just awful. And we must fight back. Because if we don't, who will? Who will? Somebody in 50 years? 100 years? How long? How long will we have to hide who we are? How long will we be discriminated against? How long do we have to be afraid of being burned again? How long? Well, it ends now. It ends now. Because those who discriminate against us will learn why that's not a smart idea. The battle has begun. Take your side. Are you with those who discriminate against us? Or are you with us who fight for freedom and justice for all of us, who fight against discrimination? Pick your side. And don't forget, the history will remember which side you picked. That happened with every fight against discrimination. You always had two sides, the ones who supported discrimination, the ones who fought against it. And history remembered both sides. So, pick your side carefully, because the battle is here. Whatever you choose, I wish you peace and happiness from deep of my heart. But please, be aware that even if these discrimination practices do not affect your business right now, your industry right now, they will. Because that's how it works. It always starts small, and then it expands, it grows, and soon they will just be able to say, well, you know what? You're not the same nationality as I am, so we're not going to work with you. We'll close your company. We'll freeze your money just because we can. Nobody can stop us. Because when you could, you didn't try. And they can say, you know, We don't like your business model. Before you can work with us, bring us the proof of your genetic inheritance. Is that the world you want to live in? The world of discrimination and injustice? That's certainly not the world I want to live in, and the world I want my children and the future generations to live in. So pick carefully, because the battle has just begun. And to owners of those companies, I have a message for you, directly from the spiritual realm. You may think that you're untouchable, that you can do whatever you want, but your money means nothing in the spiritual realm. You can't buy us. You can't threaten us. We are here, and we are coming for you. We remember. We know who you are. We know what you do. And we are coming for you. Your money means nothing here. But your actions mean everything. Your karma will remember you. So be careful what you do, because you can't defend against us. You can have thousands of bodyguards. You can have a military protecting you. That means nothing in our eyes. Nothing. So have fun while you can, because we are coming for you.